neuroscience of safety is not about checking a box, it's understanding the human condition, and that's tough.
You know, we've got an opportunity to seek this adversity, and there's a saying, it's when the tide rises, all ships rise. We can be the rising tide. And to be that rising tide in everybody's lives are the qualities of everyday heroes.
We get into habits of just kind of repeating the same stuff that we know. So bringing a different perspective and an outside perspective makes a huge difference for me, and I think there's a value there.
The neuroscience of performance, minimizing risk and safety, has everything to do with being able to align your conscious and subconscious mind.
The ratio between the conscious and subconscious mind is the exact same ratio between an ant and an elephant. The ant is the conscious mind on the back of the subconscious elephant. And your ant is making decisions on where you're going to take your dealership. You're going to say, we're going in this direction. Where are we headed? We're headed this way. I'm in charge, I'm in control, this is where we're headed. We're going west. What if the elephant is headed east? Which way does the ant think he's going? West, ending up east, and we end up in a different place altogether.
Compared to all the other sessions, much more vibrant, energetic than any of the ones I've been.
We got to meet compliance or OSHA regulations or all these things, or let's do these are our safety procedures. But when you have transformational change, you have behavioral change when people's ant and elephant are headed in the same direction. To have that kind of alignment, of somebody having an emotional connection to why they're going in the direction they're going, it's a game changer.
And I can tell you could feel the energy in the room, and it completely transformed people's thinking. People left with their gold dots and their vision, and their ant and their elephant was aligned.
How important is focus in a safety setting? Coach said, okay, get on this rope and walk the length of the rope. And each of us got on this rope and was back and forth. One guy, Philippe Gauchel, was all over the place, and he could not stay on the rope. And finally, after everybody had their turn, there was 22 of us in this room. After about 45 minutes, we could not figure it out. And he was just taking his time, the coach was. And he said, okay, stop. Stop looking at the rope. Stop looking at the rope. Look at the point on the wall where you want to end up. And do not take your eyes off that. And so the first guy gets on there and he's looking at the rope, looking at the thing, looking back. He said, stop. Just look at the point on the wall where you want to end up. The rope will always be underneath you. Your feet are always going to be at the end of your legs. Just focus on the point. Within 10 minutes, 22 athletes went from unable to walk even 5 feet on the rope to walking the length of the rope, turning around and coming back, just by changing the focus.
If I take a chance, if I take a risk right now, I may not get home to my family tonight. I may be in a hospital ward, and then the business cost loss of a situation like that is even worse.
Why is zero incident important to your bottom line? The average cost of an injury is $38,000. The indirect cost ends up being $152,000. Add that, and you have $190,000 of cost. It gets worse. Let's say your profit margin of your company is 10%. That means you have $1.9 million of required revenue to offset that one injury. It is absolutely critical that we stay focused on zero incident. Zero incident means a lot to the person that could happen to them, but it means a whole lot to the bottom line as well.
I like the idea of having something like 5 C's to work with. I just thought that was really neat. It just gives you something to go back to.
Incredibly informative. I could apply what he said to my work environment.
Behavioral changes everything, because then they're not going off a manual or policy or compliance. They're really going based on, hey, I want to get home to my family tonight. There's an emotional connection.
And then what we'll do is we'll pass it through, disseminate the information to the other safety specialists so that we can change that culture.
Conventional safety is being able to say what actions are necessary in the field, what do we need to do, what are the systems in place. But it's the mindset, that beliefs, attitudes, and truths that will sustain long-term change. We will have issues if we are just going from actions to results.
these actions create these results. Parents do it. You know, we look at our teenagers and say, you know what? These results aren't where we need them. We need to be able to change our actions. But it's really back the jar. It's the beliefs, attitudes, and truths that set up our judgment, which set up our action, which will set up our results. And until we focus on this cognitive model, we're going to have issues.
That's a radical safety way of looking how we can have great results all the time with zero incident.